Hey, Iron ladies! It is mad early up in the East Coast. I can't even talk. It's gonna be a good morning. You can already tell. Energize is slowly kicking in, so I'm gonna wait for a couple of you to hop on. But as they do, first of all, here's why I love mornings. I think developing a morning routine is so vital, not just for business, but for your own emotional and spiritual and physical health. And doing this first thing in the morning on the East Coast gives everybody else a chance to watch this in their power pocket when it makes sense for them. So I'm really excited to be here. I have loved watching all of you completely leave your comfort zones in the last 4 days. I was just asking my team, what was one way you left your safe zone so far this week? And I feel like everybody was like, I don't even see my safe zone anymore. So the goal of this group is that we all stop playing it safe. And it seems like it's working. And so we are going to be talking all about how to share a challenge pack with confidence and with clarity. So feel free to say good morning. I just want to make sure I'm in the right group. I'm in the Iron group, right? It has not failed that sometimes I hop on in the wrong group. But we're sharing all about challenge packs this morning. And before I do that, here's what I do want to tell you as far as this training goes. It feels really challenging to stick to your numbers on the power of 5 and committing to that every single day, regardless of the circumstances that are before you. I've had people on my team say, Caren, today was a really hard day. Today was a really busy day. Hi, Kenna. But here's why I love this group. We are helping you create as much discipline as possible in 2 weeks, regardless of circumstance. So that way you have the freedom later to make this business fit your life in the way that makes sense. But you're not going to know what freedom looks like to manage your hours with more flexibility until you have the discipline now. So right now you're showing yourself what you can do and that you can follow through with what you said you were going to do regardless of what the circumstances are. And then 2 weeks from now, I don't think any of you are going to bump your numbers down, but you're going to find, that if there's a day things got insane, you can sort of double your numbers the next day or whatever it is that you need to do. So discipline has to come before freedom. And so we are disciplining all together now. We're committing a discipline. That way later, there's more fluidity and flexibility and you're going to have a flow that you can play around with a little bit more with wisdom, not with recklessness. So at this point in our training, you've seen the flow. We've had how to expand your network, how to do that in so many creative ways. We've talked about how to connect with people. Connecting is probably one of my all-time favorites because it's so pressure-free, it's fun, it's really valuable. And then we talked all about inviting. How do we really go for it and boldly, courageously invite somebody to join us on this journey? So today, my element is a little bit shorter. This will not be a long video because I'm just going to give you some tools of how to share a challenge pack with confidence. This is the area that I think a lot of people shy away from is they don't want to be pushy, so they're very quick to be like, you don't have to get a challenge pack, we can be content with just bot or just Shakeology or just the sampler. And those are all fine. Those are all great tools. But challenge packs have the most value in the long run for the customer because that's what we do. We do fitness plus nutrition plus accountability for a lot of us plus faith equals success, equals progress, equals a transformation journey. When they're all together, they get the most value. And so, number 1, I have 8 tips for you for how to present or share a challenge pack with more confidence, and then I'm going to give you more practical tools for how to do this. So if you're hopping on, feel free to ask questions about how to share the challenge pack if you have them. Number 1, you need to have experienced the value of a challenge pack for yourself first. It feels really yucky to lead this business backward because I have lived through the programs, Shakeology, even the containers, because I've learned how those 3 elements together, the fitness plus nutrition plus accountability, works. I see the value of a challenge pack. I've studied Shakeology to understand why on earth is it 130 for 30 days? What's in it that sets it apart? Why is it different from 800 other shakes? Listen to the reviews, listen to the doctors, do your research. Research what is prebiotics, what are probiotics, why do adaptogens matter? Those are what balance out our hormones, guys. look at the ingredients of Shakeology and start to study and understand why it has value. These are not things that you're going to word vomit. Good morning, Rebecca. You're not going to word vomit these things in a conversation with somebody, but they're important for you to know, because here's what I've learned. You know how like in the Bible, Jesus always met people where they were. So if somebody was very theological, he would meet them theologically, right? If somebody like just needed to see a miracle, he would do a miracle to build their faith. The customer on the other side, you don't know what kind of customer they are. They may be people who need the like research, the science. So you have to be prepared with an answer to respond with the science. They may be somebody that's like, I need to see it to believe it. I will do it, and at least I have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you need to just be prepared to give that person what they need. And this is why you have to do your research. It's okay if you haven't tried everything that Beachbody offers, but this is why it's so important for us to build our story and our testimonies with the products. So if you've never experienced Shakeology with the fitness program together, it's time to experience it. Otherwise, you're not going to know how to share it and share its value. And keep adding on to the things that you know. I'm not just here to give you tips on challenge packs. This is for everything. If you haven't tried the beach bars, if you haven't tried Energize or Recover, Daily Sunshine with your kids, the more that you become a product of the product, the more sharing these challenge packs and sharing our programs and our products becomes so natural. So number one, you need to have experienced its value for yourself. Number two is actually explore what we have. I think we're really quick to stick to what we know of, like Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology Challenge Pack. And then, you know, maybe even like the 2B Mindset Challenge Pack. Now we all know about the Live Forward Challenge Packs. But guys, have you ever gone, like when I first signed up to be a coach, one of the first things I did is I went to my website as if I was a customer just to see what there was. Look at all the different challenge pack options we have. Look at the completion packs. There's a performance line challenge pack. There are daily sunshine challenge packs. There's 2B Mindset, obviously. There are so many different kind of package options that it's important for us to have an understanding of what we offer. Why? Because then when we're listening to the other person on the other side, we're trying to figure out, as they're pulling out their problems, as they're sharing the void, we're kind of going in our mind like, what kind of package makes sense? Sometimes it may not be a package, it may be an isolated thing, but more often than not, it's a combination of things that will really help this person move forward. But if you don't know, if your mind is like, bought on Shakeology, bought on Shakeology, bought on Shakeology, you're going to end up pushing your agenda instead of pulling out theirs. But when you already understand that there's a lot that you can offer, then you're able to really listen, because you're not limited to Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology. If I have somebody that loves CrossFit, they love CrossFit, they're not interested in Beachbody On Demand, they have an awesome gym routine in place. I've had a lot of those, by the way. Great. I am not about to throw a Beachbody On Demand challenge pack. I'm going to look at our performance line challenge pack, or a completion pack with the performance line and Shakeology. And so, you know, you have to listen. You have to know what we offer and what we have so that your ears are open and you're able to pull out their agenda. So, number one, experience the value of a package yourself. Number two, explore the different options we have. Number three, pick the platform that you're going to have the conversation on. Okay? Maybe it's email. Maybe it's voice messaging on Facebook, maybe it's a phone call, but you need to figure out what platform are you able to carry across the message best. So 89% of my signups are on the phone. On the phone. I had like 6 people sign up last week, all of them phone calls. All of them, every single one. Here's why for me, and I'm not saying that you have to do this, but here's why I love it. If somebody says, Caren, I'm really interested in the 2B Mindset. I've been watching your stories and I really think that this is something I need to do. I can usually tell, this is something that you're going to grow in. You grow in discernment and you can just tell when somebody's serious. And I'll say, if you're serious about this, I would love to set up a 20-minute call just so that way I can hear your story and I can share with you some of my story and we can have this conversation and you can ask questions and it will just be an easier flow. We set up that call. I listen to them. They share with me their struggles, their voids, or whatever, and then I'm able to then share with them my story and have that conversation. So you need to figure out what platform works for you. My best friend and my purpose partner in the business, success partner, purpose partner, she has a huge following on Instagram. She can post something and everybody floods to her and wants to sign up. So she can't set up like 20 phone calls, right? So she works completely off of email. And so she's learned how to build an email message. She obviously tailors it and individualizes it, but she's learned how to build an email message that breaks down the value of everything, and that's what she uses. I have done that. I'm not as successful because for me, even though I don't hit higher success numbers, like my success club is decent, but I know it probably could skyrocket if I were to do more emailing because it's like faster. But for me personally, those phone calls go a longer way for me because they build depth in the conversation. It gives a voice to who I am and it gives them a voice to who they are. And now we know I've been able to build a relationship, not just build customers. Michelle Meyer said this on She Works His Way. We're here to build relationships, not build customers. And to me, phone calls just go way further than email. I'm not knocking emails. I know that sometimes you're in a season of life where where phone calls are less possible. But I still think if you can build a system where one day a week it's your phone call day, you're going to see a difference. You're going to see a difference. Like, I want you to leave this call so confident and ready that every person here, one person buys a challenge pack from them today. And I know that you can do this, and I will give you tips that you can do that. But I believe all of you today, one person's going to get a challenge pack from you, minimum. Okay. But you have to like pick the platform to have the conversation and then stick to it. So I'm probably going to be transitioning to a 1 day for phone calls because my son still takes 2-hour naps a day. So I'm building off of that really well. But when he drops to 1, I'm going to have to limit my phone calls. But I'm going to set aside 1 day every week, probably Thursday or Friday. That's my phone call day that I could just do it back to back to back and make it happen. And so figure out your platform. Number 4, listen. Listen. So if it's on email, your initial email message to somebody who's interested needs to be, can you tell me more about you? And listen, a lot of people say, I'm interested in this, what's the cost? A lot of people want to ask you the cost right away. You are not going to tell them the cost right away because there's no value attached to it. So somebody says, Caren, I'm interested in Lift 4. What's the cost though? I'm kind of worried about it. I'm not going to be like, $170 if you add Shakeology, blah, blah, blah. They don't even know what any of that stuff is. I'm not going to say the cost. I'm going to say, I'm so excited that you're interested in Lift 4. I know for me, I'm just craving less days of workouts with more intensity. Can you just, I will absolutely break down all the investment options. They're really doable, I feel like, for the value that you get. But before I go there, I'd love to hear, what was it about Lift 4 that really tugged on you? What was it about the style of workouts or the timing of it? And can you just share with me a little bit about your health journey and your faith journey the last year, just so that I can get to know you, because nothing I do is cookie cutter. I'm not just going to send you a link. I want to make sure that I help you find what makes sense for you. So if you're emailing, this is how you're approaching that initial conversation. Like, the longer the email, the better. You can say that. The longer the email, the better. I want to hear your story. Then listen. So first, open the door for them to talk. And then you are reading. Or you're listening, and you're waiting for those exclamation points. You're waiting to hear the void, but first you're just listening to their story. And this is why, guys, it's so important to be incredibly good listeners when you are first presenting or sharing anything, because you may have an agenda, and then as you're listening, you realize this agenda is not suitable. It's not suitable in their financial season. It may not be suitable. There are genuinely times I'm like, a challenge pack would not be a wise financial decision for this family. What can I do to still help? What can I do? But I need to listen first. So maybe they tell me, well, I love that Lift 4 is 4 days a week. I'm just in a season where I just had my second baby, and I'm 6 months postpartum, and I just feel really overwhelmed. I feel like 4 days is doable. I'm a mess with nutrition. I feel like we eat out a lot. We're on the go a lot because of my first son's activities. And I need to have a win. I need to take care of myself again. So I'm listening. I'm listening that it's the shorter workouts that are helpful for her. I'm listening that nutrition is a really big struggle, and she could probably use a brainless meal every day. I'm listening to all these things. And so once I pick out the void, so once you pull out the void and you're asking all these questions, then you're able to share and you know exactly where you're going to go. So you're listening first to find their why. Why do they want to do this? Why are they interested in 2B mindset? Why are they interested in Live 4? Why are they interested in the performance line? Why are they interested? Why? And then you are finding the voids. You're asking all the questions. Become an excellent question asker. I don't know how Liz said it. Liz said it way more elegantly. But become incredible at asking questions, because that's how you find the answers. And then you share your story. Now, this part's really brief. This should not be a 20-minute side of the conversation where you're telling them your whole life story. This is just a, can I tell you? Like, this literally happened this past Friday, last Friday. It was a beautiful woman on Instagram. She found me, and she said, you know, it started as a connection, by the way. I messaged her just to say thank you for following me on Instagram. I asked her how I could be praying for her, and if anything I've shared has been helpful. She sent me back a long message about her faith journey and just her struggles. That evening, she said, I've been watching your stories. I'm curious about Live 4. And I said, can we get on the phone? Like, I want to talk to you. She said, yes. We got on a call, and in that call, she's sharing with me just about how the gym is not feasible. She has 4 kids. The gym isn't working for her, and she's looking for something to do from home, and she loves the combo of lift and hit. So I said, awesome. Like, tell me your story. Tell me everything about your family. And then when I got to my part, I didn't go overboard. I just said, listen, I love fitness. I'm a fitness fanatic, but somehow this season I am burnt out. I don't know what happened to me, but like, I'm not as excited to work out like I used to be. This gets me excited because it's 4 days a week. It's in the summer. It looks fun. I've been doing the samples. It's awesome. And I know that the summertime, like, I'm on the go a lot. So Shakeology, and I explain what that is, has been so helpful for me. And I'll share some of the value of that. But I have to share my story. I have to make myself human so she understands I'm not just a Beachbody robot that's like, thank you for telling me your story. Based on your suggestions or your voids, these are my recommendations. Option 1. Like, I'm not just robotic in it. I'm telling her some of my stories, some of my struggles, and how I've overcome the struggle. So a lot of people use the feel, felt, found method. I know how you feel. That's also how I felt. And then this is what I found. So feel, felt, found allows you to really relate to them. It allows you to make yourself more human in the conversation. So they've told me their voids. I've shared my story briefly. We've had maybe more conversation, but now it's time for the recommendation. Okay. So number 1, experience a challenge pack yourself. Number 2, explore the different options. 3, pick a platform. 4, listen to their voids and find their why. 5, find their voids. Listen first and find their why. 5 is find their voids, ask all the questions. 6, share your story briefly. 7, make the recommendation. I'm still not talking about cost. It hasn't come up yet. Now I'm saying, so I'm going to give you an example of a phone call I had yesterday. This is a friend from college. We haven't talked in a long, long time. And she said, I've actually been following you the last 3 years. You have no idea. But literally the last 3 years, I've watched you like a hawk. And there's a whole thing going on with her family. And so she said, I know I need to get back. I was thinking about, like, when was the last time I was genuinely happy? And it was when I was working out and taking care of myself. And I just feel like I've lost myself this last year. And when she had her second baby. And so she shared with me the love for fitness and the main struggle with nutrition. So we're talking, I'm sharing with her some of my story. We talked about, just how hard nutrition can be. And I said to her, this came part to the recommendation. I said, let's use a name. I said, Melissa, honestly, I'm torn between 2 options for you. I feel like as you were talking, these were the 2 paths I thought would be best, but I'm not sure which one fits you best. So I'm going to tell you both of them. And then you tell me, which one do you feel like in your season matches your goals and your priorities? And I shared with her the Lift 4 track, and I shared with her the 2B mindset track. I didn't go overboard in explanation. I just shared how one is primarily fitness focused and one is a nutrition class. Like, it really helps get to the root of emotional eating, because she was talking a lot about that. And so by the end of it, she said, honestly, I do think that the 2B mindset track makes sense. And I said, awesome. I think that that's a great place for us to start, because she already had BOD, and I was like, you have access to workouts. Nutrition seems to be the tripping point. So I said, okay, if that's the track that you want to take, I'm now going to break down the options for you, because I'm super transparent when it comes to an investment, because everything is going to require an investment. I'm free. And this is something to remind people that you're free. Everything that you do as a coach is free. Your groups, your support, your phone consultations, your extra resources, All of that is completely free. They just have to get the tools so that everything can begin. And then I break it down, right? So, I think the most important thing is to understand or practice how to break down a challenge pack. So usually I start with the smallest price first, and then I go up. So I told her, like, 2B Mindset, it comes with the entire course with Alana, our registered dietitian. So you have like all these videos or like classes, and they're incredible. They're 3 minutes each kind of, and you get to just learn and apply, and it seems so simple, but it works. So you have to be really proactive as a student. So you get the entire course. It's a one-time payment. It's yours forever. You get the 30-ounce water bottle. You get the tracker, which I know sounds kind of scary, but the tracker is probably the secret weapon to this whole thing, because it helps you discover who you are and your metabolism and your hormones and how your body works. You get the recipe book. All of that together is $119. So the entire course, which is like crazy compared to what registered dietitians actually cost, they can be up to $2,500. But the whole entire course is a one-time payment of $119. So that's option one. I'm going to take you to the middle package. This is the one that is most popular, primarily because it adds on Shakeology. And this is where I talk about Shakeology very boldly. I don't spend 20 minutes on it. I just give them a 2-minute, like, here's what it's done for me. Here's what's in it. And here's why it's incredibly valuable to add extra $60 to get something that actually costs $130. And you're basically getting a 30-day supply of a completely brainless meal that's going to dose your body with all these nutrients. So, and then present that middle option. Actually, more often than not, I ignore the last one. So I kind of just like, the last option I don't think is super necessary if you want to focus on nutrition more than fitness. But that one, it's where you add an entire year membership to our Netflix of workouts. It's a big library of all of our workout programs. And that's an awesome package, but I don't really recommend that one if fitness is not a priority at all in your life. I do that on purpose, by the way. I totally downplay the last package because I'm like, if we're focusing on nutrition and exercise is extra credit, don't worry about that one. But here's what you get. And then I say, if there ever comes a point that you do feel that the workouts could actually be helpful, if your husband might like it, you could get it now because you save a lot more. Like, it's $100 on its own later. So if you feel like that package makes sense for you, we could go there. But for me personally, as your coach, my recommendation is the middle package because it gives you the most value in the long run. And the basic is just as awesome. Like, I will meet you where you're ready. And so, if you really share this with authenticity, so I'm not pushy, I'm not saying you have to do this one or I won't work with you. I'm saying, hey, here's the information. Here's where I, as the coach, find this package to be the most valuable. And ultimately, it's your decision. I've had a lot of people do the bottom one. A lot of people, even though I downplay it. But a lot of them are like, actually, that one makes sense because even though I'm not ready to work out now, I might be in August. So why not have it for the year? So basically, you started by listening to them, and then you found their voids. So then you're able to understand what direction you're going, right? You're able to understand, and you were saying, like, the whole time you were talking, I'm just listening. And this is the path I felt fits the struggle best, but let's talk about it. And then you're sharing your story, then you're making that recommendation. The last part is the investment. That's literally the last 3 minutes of every conversation that I have on the phone. It's the tail end. It's not even like I don't ever lead with it, because at the end of it all, once I've shared all of the value, people are usually like, that's it? Really? Like, because I'm talking about Beachbody On Demand is $100 by itself. You get over 35 programs. Like, our programs are $60 to $80 each individually on DVD, but you get 35 plus for $99 a year. Shakeology is $130 for 30 days. Break it down to $4-ish a day. And I mean, if you replace it with your coffee or protein bars or cereal or whatever, you're going to find that $4 a day if it's a priority for you. That's what my husband and I did. And then you can talk about 2B Mindset is $119 on its own, and you get this entire course. But altogether, this is what we love to do is bundle packages, bundle everything, because we believe fitness plus nutrition plus support equals success. All of them together, this is what you get. So you might be saying, okay, on the phone, this is really fluid, but on email, how do I do this, right? How do you do this? Or how do you do it on a Facebook message? It's harder because you don't want to feel like you're word vomiting. On the phone, I just feel like it's such a nice, flowy conversation, and I can feel them out a little bit better. They can't ghost me on the phone, and I'm able to really tackle their questions right away as they have them, and I'm able to tackle their fears right away. I think phone calls are great because they can't run away. They can't run away. And so, but if you're doing it on email or voice message, you need to have a graphic. You need to have a graphic. I think graphics go really, really far. So I'll tell you, just yesterday, I had somebody interested in Lift 4, and we started on Monday, and so she couldn't get on the phone with me this week. Her week is a disaster. It's just super busy. So I said, listen, let me send you what the options are. She was a previous customer from forever ago, so it's been a long time since we've worked together, and she does not have BOD. And so literally, you guys saw this. But I just said, you know what, let me send you an image to explain the options, but then please listen to my voice message after, and I will break them down more thoroughly for you. So I sent her this. I did not leave it there. Please do not send somebody an image and then just like, peace out. Talk about it. So I sent her 3 voice messages after, and I broke down each one with my voice. And I said, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. The all-in for $445 is a bit too intense. Like, I'm really honest, you guys. Like, I just don't feel that every person needs the $445. I'm not downplaying it. You can do you. But I was just like, I already know this woman's life, and I know her season, and I know that she has 5 kids. Like, so I was just like, okay, all honesty, ignore the top. Ignore it. Just like pretend it doesn't even exist. I know it's the best option, and it truly is. But in this season, I know the season of life you're in. Just ignore it. It's not necessary. Let's look at the middle and bottom package together. And then I talk about them. The value of Shakeology, the value of Energize, the value of Recover, and obviously she wants Live 4 and BOD, and you know, the value of combining them together. So I break down everything with my voice, explaining the value, and then the last thing I always say, you guys, is just, I want to meet you in your season and in your comfort, but at the same time, I know that not much grows in our comfort zone. So before you let the cost steer you away, just understand that your health requires an investment, just like a house does, just like a car does, just like education does. And I would never present something to you that I'm not using myself and fully believe in. So if you feel like the basic option, you know, makes the most sense, then let's go for that. But I just want you to know, like, all 3 are great because they're all challenge packs at the end of the day, by the way. They're all challenge packs. So, but you need to understand that, like, this isn't about pushing one option. It's about presenting and sharing a couple of them, because then people feel like they can make the decision. I don't want somebody to feel like I'm making a decision for them. They share with me, I share back, and then they need to make an empowered choice. And I say that. I say, I want you to make a decision feeling empowered, feeling confident, feeling excited. If at any point on this phone call with me, you're not feeling at peace and you're feeling pushed, you need to tell me, because I'm not here to push you. I'm here to pull you in alongside me, right? So you need to understand what we offer. You need to understand the options, and you need to listen to what people are saying. And I promise when they know that you are listening, they will take you seriously. I don't apologize for the prices, ever, because they make sense to me. They deserve the cost that they are. I don't apologize for them, but I help brainstorm with them what makes sense for them. So if somebody is in a really financially tight season, the good package that's $170 for BOD, where they get all of BOD, Lift 4, and Shakeology, is a great package. It's a great package. So I'm not like, it has to be the $230. Like, it has to be the committed. If you're not committed, you're not in. Like, no, like, the basic is wonderful. I think the committed, like, you save a ton of money if you want to try all 3 options, but the basic is great. So, I mean, I have been able to hit like high Success Club numbers, like 50, 20s, like things like that. But guys, it's primarily phone calls. Like, I know it's not realistic for everybody, but I don't know what it is, but because they can't ghost you, because they can hear the authenticity in your voice, because you're able to really give them the space to listen or to speak so you can listen, it just goes way further. And I think voice messaging does too. Like, I will always voice message before I email, just because email, I don't know, like, for me, I see it work for so many people. That's why you have to figure out what platform works for you. Email, I don't get to really reach them I just can't. I don't know what it is. I just like have a harder time reaching them. I've had people sign up because of emails, but I think that voice messaging and phone calls really give you the best platform to share with people, to listen to people. So find a graphic or an image that you can use when talking to somebody. Once I'm done talking with somebody on the phone, if they haven't signed up right away on the phone with me with Share a Cart, then usually I say, okay, I know that you've made your choice or you're thinking about it, but I'm going to send you the image to break down everything we talked about once we're done in text message. And I want you just to look at it with your husband, and I want you to figure out what option fits the family right now. And so when they see that you're prioritizing their financial season, you're prioritizing their goals, then they're more likely to make a decision with confidence and with clarity. So I hope that that's helpful. For those of you, the 6 of you that are on live, any specific questions with challenge packs? Oh, the last piece is practice. Practice, practice. Okay. If you listen to how I do a phone call now, I wish we could do a role play where I could like literally do this with you guys live. But if you listen to how I do the phone calls now, they're so natural. Like super natural. There's a lot of confidence in how I share everything that we do. And there's confidence, like this is not meant to be boastful. Like, so please just like hear my heart. But I know what I offer as a coach. I know I'm loyal, and I know that I'm true to my word. And when I say I'm going to walk alongside somebody and I'm going to support them and I'm going to be there with them and I'm going to coach them and I'm going to mentor them, I'm going to. So you have to believe. Like, I feel like this whole business feels incredibly salesy if you don't believe that you're going to follow through on what you said you're going to do for them as their coach. Because I know that we have awesome faith and fitness groups, and because I know that I will commit to being their coach and I will serve them well, I have no problem telling them that an investment is required. Because an investment is required. It's not even to pay for me. It's to pay for the tools, right? So I never apologize for the investment. Michelle says this all the time. My mind is free. You can have my mind, but my time requires an investment, and I know what I offer. I know that I offer solid support. And so I think that that's why the conversation comes so confidently. They're listening on the other side and they're like, yeah, I want you in my corner. Like, what do I need to do to join you? Because I'm not like, hey, so, I mean, I know this cost is going to be really, really high, so just don't freak out. I know this might be crazy, but here's our challenge pack. I know it's kind of pricey, but, Chicoche is great. Like, it's really fun. It's a really delicious meal. It's a shake. It's really good. And our programs are awesome. Lift 4 is great. But, I know it might be kind of a lot. So just let me know what you think. If that's me on the other side, I'm like, she sounds nervous. Like, I don't know. I sound nervous. I don't know. So, but if I'm confident and if I'm saying, I've heard you, and from listening to you, these are the gaps that I've noticed. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I heard, I'm hearing I need something realistic with 4 kids. I'm hearing I'm super on the go, and I'm struggling to find time to eat. I'm listening to these voids. So let me tell you, based on my experience, and based on the testimonies I've walked through with women, this is the path I feel matches your season well, but please tell me if I'm missing it, because you're the expert on your season. So if I'm missing it, you tell me. But let me just share what's worked for me and where I'm hearing the struggle and what the solution I feel is best. So if you're confident, if you're saying, and understand, though you're making an investment now, here's everything that you are going to get, right? So, okay. Tina says, how do you start the conversation with somebody interested in fitness but knows nothing about, why can't I read the rest of your comment? About, I literally can't read the rest of that comment. Every time I hit see more, I get all the emojis, and I can't get rid of them. So, how do you start the conversation with somebody interested in fitness but knows nothing about, I'm guessing you're saying Beachbody and Shakeology? Is that what you're saying, Tina? Type that like tail end part for me, since I can't click see more. Beachbody and Shakeology. Okay. Well, what do they like about fitness? So if somebody says, Caren, I'm trying to even think how they would say that. I'm interested in working out. Help me? Like, what are they saying to you? I think that the way I would approach it, well, tell me what you love doing for fitness. What are your favorite exercises to do? What have you tried for fitness? There's a lot of ways to get fit. Beachbody is not the only way to get fit from an exercise standpoint. So I'd love to hear what you've tried, what you enjoy. And if there's anything that, I have in my toolbox, I would love to share that with you. But first, can you just tell me a little bit about what are your priorities in fitness? Put the question back on them. I'm interested. I want to get healthy. I want to work out. Cool. What do you like to do? What have you tried? What worked? What didn't work? Pull out the void. So I do not say, cool, if you like fitness, let's talk about Beachbody on Demand. And let's talk about, let's talk about Beachbody on Demand. And let's talk about Shakeology. Nope. That's too vague. What they said is too vague. I need more questions. I need more. I need to understand more. So take that, ask a question again. I will never lead with a challenge pack until I feel completely confident that that's what they need. Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, I feel like we need to start with, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. Sometimes I'm trying to think of like a situation recently. Oh, I think, let's say somebody has 0 internet connection. That's happened before, where Beachbody on Demand would not have been a good idea. A challenge pack would not have been a great idea. But then there's the completion packs. There's other kind of package options that's not a full challenge pack. But you're not going to know until you're pulling out all that information. All right, good. Okay, Rebecca, I'm so glad. This one is I know it's like a more practical talk, but the whole point is, guys, you need to practice. You're going to fumble. If I can show you the first time I ever did one of these calls, because I remember in the very beginning of my business, I tried to do everything on messaging, and what Patrice said about word vomit, I was like, I feel like I'm just such a vomiter when I'm typing. How can I make this more genuine and fluid? And I was like, phone calls. I need to get on the phone with people. And I was working 60 plus hours a week in mental health, y'all. I started my business the first year as a supervisor in a mental health center. Not a lot of time, but I used all of my lunch breaks. I used commutes, and I used evenings because my husband was in medical school, so no life. And I used those times to do phone calls. And so I started to practice, and I totally fumbled. So I was like, I would forget pieces. And I think I was trying to get it. This is right. This is good. You ready? I was trying to get it right instead of just get real. So don't worry so much about getting it right. Just get real with people. Be real. Because if you've experienced it for yourself, you already have a story. You already have the confidence. Just be real instead of being a mental checklist. Okay, I've covered Shakeology, I've covered BOD. It's gonna all come out naturally when you're just focusing on being real with this person, then getting it right. I always say that you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So I fumbled a lot in the beginning of doing this, but when somebody's ready, you can fumble left and right, and they can still see your heart, and they're like, I'm in. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person because they see that you're really there. But if somebody is not ready, they are just not there, you could say it perfectly. You could present it on the dot perfectly. It won't matter. So I want you just to focus on that. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You will get better at sharing. I'm 3 years in. So my conversations are now shorter. They used to be an hour each because I just didn't know how to condense the heart part of it. But now I'm able to immediately start with tell me who you are. I'm so excited to get on the phone with you. I can't wait to hear your story. How did you find me? And let's just jump in. So I don't the minute that call starts, we dive in. They share with me, and then I share a little bit for 2 to 3 minutes, talk about the recommendation, talk about the investment. We move forward. So I've nailed it down from an hour to 20 minutes. So this does not have to be an hour-long conversation each time. This is just but you'll get better. It might start that way, but you will get more efficient and effective. I don't want you to get so efficient that you're not effective anymore, but you find the balance of both. So quick recap. First of all, you need to have experienced the value of a challenge pack yourself. Why did you get a challenge pack? Why did you get one? Why did you see the value in all 3 items? Number 2, explore the options that we have. Get solid at understanding what we offer as Beachbody. If you're going to be a Beachbody coach, you better understand our inventory well. What do we offer? Even if you haven't tried it, understand what we offer. Number 3, pick a platform that you feel you're going to be the most effective in, whether it be phone calls, emails, voice messaging. but just sometimes it might flow between a couple, but figure out what platform works for you. Number 4, once you start that conversation, the first thing you're doing is, if you're saying, hey, Jess, like, I was just thinking about you this morning. I know in the past we kind of struggled to connect when it came to our faith and fitness groups, but I'm just so excited because I'm about to commit to a 4-day-a-week program, which, like, if you know me, that's way out of my comfort zone. I love to work out, but this is super realistic for me for the summer, and I thought of you. I know you're just as busy as me. Would you want to talk more about this? And if she says, yeah, I'm super curious. Cool. How has your life been the last year? Like, what does fitness look like? I'm immediately like, once she says I'm interested, I'm not like, here's the information. No. I'm pulling out. Like, update me. I want to, like, even though I know you're interested, I want to make sure it's the right fit. So tell me more about your story. So listen first and find their why, because if you can actually grab their why, you guys, you're able to bring that around for the investment. So if they say, gosh, like, this sounds so good, but, like, I know that this just feels like a financial hit, I'll take it back to their why. I know that it's scary to invest in yourself. I'm not apologizing for the cost. I know it's scary to invest in yourself, but let me just tell you, you have a why to have more energy to be with your kids, to have more confidence with your husband. You have a why to develop more discipline in your faith. I know this investment is scary, but I want you to look at the fruit of the investment. Because my role as your coach is not just to help you start. I'm going to help you continue and continue and continue. I believe in you. That why deserves an investment. Once you grab their why, you bring it around. And guess what? Michelle talks about follow-ups tomorrow. She's probably going to talk about this. But especially in follow-ups, if they disappear, you bring back their why. I haven't forgotten your why. Right? So grab their why. Share your story briefly so they can relate to you. Share your story briefly. And then you bring in the recommendation. Here are the paths I feel match your season from what you've shared with me. But you're the expert. So if I'm sharing these paths and you're nothing is clicking, please tell me, because we have a lot of options. But here are the ones that I see have the most value, and here's why they have value. Number 8, here's the investment. Not expense, here's the investment required in order to really begin the depth of this journey, all right? And so you've got forms, you have email contact, you have graphics. These are all practical things, but the best way is practice. Practice. And I know that practice is hard because every conversation is going to look different. So you can't practice, like, it's not going to be a cookie cutter conversation, but you can practice how to explain the value of the package, how to share Shakeology without spending 20 minutes on it, how to share Beachbody on Demand, how to share 2B Mindset, how to share Live 4. Get really good at explaining, because those parts, sharing those parts will never change across the board. So I've been doing this conversation for 3 years. What changes every time is who I'm talking to. So the story part changes. But when it comes to now, let's break down what's the value of the items in the package. That is the same every time. I've got a script. It's a script. I've got a script that I've perfected over 3 years, that it just like comes out supernaturally. I have one for 2B Mindset, one for Live 4, one for Shakeology, one for BOD. I'm not going to say that here, but the only way to get there is practice. Grab your husband, grab your kids, grab a camera. Here's why Shakeology is super valuable. I hesitated at first before getting it. Here's why BOD is so valuable. Here's why 2B Mindset is so valuable. In comparison to blah, 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 blah. Here's why it's so valuable. Practice that part, and it will become more natural in a vocal conversation, in an email conversation. Okay, wait, I think, Christine, okay, do you do phone calls more or video calls? I feel like when I bring up chatting on the phone, wait, no, I do phone way more than video. Listen, so because I'm a busy mom, like sometimes I'm on the phone if I'm on a walk with Luca, but no, they're definitely more phone calls. Here's the thing, my team has said this before. This is turning out to be a way longer call than I thought. But my team said to me, whenever I ask people to get on the phone, they say no, like they get freaked out about it. And my thing is, there's a good chance that you might be sharing it like hesitantly. So I make it like, I do this all the time, which I do. So I share it like, let's get on the phone this week. Do you have 20 minutes for me? Where can you plug me in for 20 minutes so we can get to really dig in? Do you have a lunch break? Is there an evening that works for you? But I would love to like fully hear you. I just want to get away from social media. Like if it's okay with you, it's more personal this way. Find me 20 minutes so we can catch up. Say it confidently. Don't be like, hey, are you able? Is it weird for you to get on a call with, just, when can you give me a 20-minute pocket of time so we can talk? So when I do it that way, people are like, oh, she like gets on the phone all the time with people. It's just all about how you share that. And hey, listen, there are definitely times a call is not going to happen if they're a totally different time zone or whatever. That's where you have to say, okay, I would have way rathered do a call, but since we just can't seem to like connect, I'm going to make a video for you. I actually have done this. If you look at my YouTube channel, I've done this over 10 times where somebody, I really wanted a call with them and I wanted them to see my face or hear my voice, and I couldn't because of just work reasons. And so I made a YouTube video that's unlisted where they see me. I have it on Zoom so I can share my screen. I can break down the options. I can walk them through it. They see my face. I can share my story. I leave it at about 8 minutes tops. And I do it that way. So I have done many, many, many YouTube videos where I'm like, hey, I created a video for you. And I think that most of the time they think it's going to be like a general video, but then I say their name. Like, hey, Jess, you know, I really wanted to connect with you on the phone. I know it hasn't been able to happen, so I thought a video would work. I want you to see me. I want you to hear me. And then hopefully at some point I can hear you, because this is how I love to do relationships. This is not just like a cold business for me. I want to get to know you. And then I share with them the package options and all of that based on what the conversation was via email or via Facebook Messenger. So get creative. Get creative. Send a letter, a written letter. Guys, sharing a challenge pack is not just a presentation, it's a conversation. And by the way, so much of what I shared this morning is relevant to the business conversation. Literally, a lot of it is going to be duplicated for that. But this is, I love challenge packs. I just think they save people so much money. Even for 2B Mindset, I think I hit Success Club 50 because all of my customers canceled their Shakeology order for May so they could do the middle package with everything all together because it saved them so much money. So like when you share it that way, when you just share people like, I want to save you money. Like ultimately at the end of the day, I want you to have the best option for you that saves you the most money, that gives you the most value. This is the one that I feel fits best. You still get to make the decision. I will work with you, you know, regardless of what option you pick. If it's the basic, if it's a committed, if it's all in, like you will have me in your corner regardless. This is about you picking the package that will help you succeed. And so I hope that's helpful. I just went like 47 minutes. Man, my goal was 30. My goal was 30. I apologize. I got to go work out. Energize has kicked in and left many, many, many years ago. So I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Later in the day during my business hours, I will check in if you have messages. But I hope that these tiny little nuggets just gives you confidence today, to get on a 20-minute call with somebody or to break down a package option for somebody after listening to them with complete confidence. No apologies, and excitement for them. Let them hear your excitement for these options, and I have no doubt today everybody can help a client get a full challenge pack. All right? I love y'all. Talk to you later.